If you're having a hard time picking which store-bought product to use, look no further. Because what we're about to do is replicate pretty much the exact same thing, only using homemade ingredients, and just as plant-friendly too. Because honestly, who really knows what's in those store-bought bottles anyway?
So the first thing we want to do is observe. And as you can see, this pepper plant is showing some clear signs of trouble. The new leaves up top are curling, cupping, and growing distorted. And if you look closely, you'll notice some small insect damage holes scattered across them too. This kind of puckering and leaf distortion is usually a sign of sap-sucking pests, things like thrips, broad mites, or aphids feeding on that soft new growth. But that's not the only issue here. The soil in this container is heavy and compact, which means poor root aeration, and that often leads to overwatering. And when that happens, it actually blocks the plant from properly absorbing calcium, which just makes the curling and stunted growth even worse.
To start, we're going to add in some used coffee grounds. And the reason we're using this is because coffee grounds are packed with nitrogen, which is exactly what a stressed, stunted plant like this needs to push out new, healthy growth. They also contain small amounts of potassium and magnesium, which help support strong root development and overall plant recovery.
Then, fill everything with hot water. The heat helps draw out the nitrogen and nutrients from the coffee grounds much faster than cold water would.
Then we're going to add in a few teaspoons of breadcrumbs. And here's why. As bread breaks down in water, the natural yeast in it starts to ferment, and that fermentation process feeds beneficial microbes in the soil and helps release nitrogen the plant can actually use. But, and this part matters, this only works if we let it sit and ferment properly.
After a full day, come back and give it one last stir to make sure everything is well combined. Then we're going to strain everyone out. Just the liquid, we don't need any of the solids left behind. What you're left with is a nutrient-rich, slightly fermented solution that's ready to go straight to work on this plant. And the last ingredient we're adding in is a teaspoon of sugar. It will feed any of those beneficial microbes we just created from the fermentation process. Then, finally, top it off with some clean water to dilute the concentration down. We don't want this going onto the plant too strong, especially with the roots already stressed. With the solution ready, we're going to split it. Half goes into a spray bottle, and half goes into a watering can, because each one is going to serve a different purpose here. The spray bottle is for the leaves. Misting lets the plant absorb some of those nutrients directly through the leaf surface, and it also helps wash away any lingering pests or residue on the foliage. The watering can, on the other hand, is for the roots. Pouring it directly into the soil lets the solution soak all the way down, so the roots can absorb the nitrogen and nutrients right at the source. To start, we first need to loosen the soil. Take your fingers or a small hand tool and gently break it up around the base of the plant. Remember, this soil is heavy and compact, which is part of the problem to begin with. Loosening it up allows air to reach the roots, which help the solution soak down properly instead of just running off the surface or pooling on top. Then scatter a bit of charcoal dust over the loosened soil and top it off lightly with water. This combination helps in a couple of ways. The charcoal improves aeration in that heavy, compact soil we talked about earlier, and it's naturally porous, so it also absorbs excess moisture and helps prevent that overwatering issue from happening again.
Now, the first thing you want to do is mist the plant thoroughly. More specifically, focus on the leaves. Get both the top and the underside, and make sure you're really reaching every curled and cupped leaf we saw earlier. That's where the pests are hiding, and that's where this needs to actually make contact. Don't just spray from a distance and call it done. Get in close and make sure every surface is properly covered.
And this is also a good time to remind you, this isn't a one-time thing. It's a routine. A lot of people spray a plant once, see it still looking rough a few days later, and just give up, thinking it didn't work. But that's not how recovery works. You can't undo months of pest damage and stress with a single application and expect it to bounce back overnight. This is something you want to stick with. Misting like this every few days, staying consistent with it, and actually giving the plant time to respond. The change won't happen all at once, it happens gradually. A little less curling here, a little more new growth there, and one day you'll look at it and realize just how far it's actually come.
After 5 weeks, look at the difference. The new growth coming in now is completely different from what we started with. The leaves are flat, full, and smooth, none of that curling or cupping we saw before. They're a deep, rich green, no yellowing, no distortion, and no more of those little insect damage holes scattered across the surface. Even the older leaves that were still hanging on have started to straighten out and firm up, which tells you the plant isn't just pushing out new growth, it's actually recovering from the inside out. The plant is standing upright, the stems look strong and sturdy, not weak or leggy like before. And you can actually see new nodes forming along the stem, which means it's not just surviving anymore, it's actively growing again. This is exactly what a healthy pepper plant should look like. Strong structure, vibrant color, leaves that are smooth from edge to edge, and new growth pushing out steadily week after week.
And there you have it. A struggling pepper plant, covered in curled leaves and pest damage, brought back to full, healthy growth using nothing but coffee grounds, fermented bread water, and sugar. If you found this useful, a like and a subscribe helps a ton and keeps me making more of these. And I'll see you in the next one.